right now.
So anyway, guys, that's what I do. Now, and this is something important. This is something that people need to know, okay? This is the next worst thing that's probably going to happen is WWE wrestling match, okay? It might happen and it might not affect no American, but it also could happen on American soil, okay? Since 1776, we have been at war for 222 years out of the 239 since 1776. 222 years we have been at war. Alright? U.S. Bolton appears to threaten Venezuela with 5,000 troops to Colombia. U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton has stirred speculation after observers noticed 5,000 troops to Colombia scrawled on his notepad. Scrawled on his notepad. Accidental or not, it sends a signal to Venezuela's leadership. The United States appeared to issue a veiled military threat to Venezuela when National Security Advisor John Bolton has seen, I hope it isn't too loud in the background, has seen at a press briefing announcing sanctions on Venezuela's state-owned oil company while holding a yellow notepad carrying the line 5,000 troops to Colombia. So they're sending 5,000 over there. U.S. state oil for all over oil. There was no mention at the press briefing on Monday of sending troops to Colombia. The Andean country shares a 1,370-mile border with Venezuela. The White House has said all options are on the table to restore democracy in Venezuela and apply pressure on its ruler, President Nicolas Maduro. It was not until after the briefing that observers noticed the writing on the notepad, on which was also scribbled Afghanistan, welcome the talks, a reference to reported progress in negotiation with Taliban. Colombia refutes troop talk. I had to plug the headphones back in, it's too loud. Colombia refutes troop talk. Colombia's foreign minister said late Monday he had no idea why Bolton, an ultra-security hawk who beat the war drums against Iraq and has advocated attacking Iran, has scribbled a note about U.S. troops deployment. Regarding the mention of Colombia in the notebook that Mr. John Bolton had in his hands, the scope and the reason for the intonation is unknown. Annotation. I'm sorry, guys. Foreign Minister Carol Holmes said in Bogota. Colombia will act politically and diplomatically to promote an electoral process and restoration of democracy in Venezuela, Holmes said. In the coming days, General Mark Stammer, commander of the U.S. Southern Command, will visit the Colombian capital, El Tiempo. Newspapers reported, according to the Colombia's Ministry of Defense, it will be a normal meeting between the two countries to discuss the fight against drug trafficking, organized crime, and regional security. There are already several hundred U.S. military personnel in Colombia as part of Plan Peace Colombia, a U.S.-funded aid, security, and anti-drug operation established in 2000. Fostering, whether accidentally or not, Bolton's scribbling ratchets up pressure on Maduro and the military leadership that has so far continued to back him. 24 countries have backed Venezuelan National Assembly leader Juan Guaido, who declared himself Venezuela's interim president last week. The opposition, U.S. and most regional states contend Maduro's re-election last May was not legitimate. The last straw. In March 2017, violent protests erupted across the country in response to a Supreme Court decision to strip the legislative branch of its powers. Amid an international outcry, President Nicolas Maduro reserved the decision, but it was too late. Thousands continued to take to the streets, calling for new elections. More than 100 people were killed in clashes with security forces. Maduro has branded U.S. moves against him in coup. In the two countries, several formal diplomatic relations last week, triggering tensions over the continued U.S. embassy presence. The Maduro government had ordered all U.S. diplomats to leave Venezuela, although it later partially backtracked to allow further talks. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has ordered out most staff from the U.S. Embassy in Caracas, but the diplomatic post remains in operation. Oh yeah, check that one out. Sending signals. Bolton's notepad strategy may be to send a signal to Maduro's government that the U.S. military will respond if its diplomats were forcibly evicted or there were clashes between Marines stationed at U.S. diplomatic posts. It may also be meant to signal to Maduro and, more importantly, wavering officers in the military that the U.S. will be prepared to intervene in the event of a bloody crackdown on the opposition. Bolton used the press briefing to again call on security forces to accept the peaceful, democratic, and constitutional transfer of power. On Tuesday, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov was quoted as saying the U.S. sanctions imposed on Venezuela's state oil company were illegal and amounted to an attempt to confiscate Venezuelan state assets. Russia will take all necessary steps to support Maduro's administration, he said. So obviously, you can see how this is drawing even more tensions with Russia. Now, this just, and hold on. The article that I was talking about, I just couldn't find it just now. It popped up and then it completely disappeared. Like, I got a notification about it and it popped up and it completely disappeared. And it was something about Venezuela. I can't say what it said. I just thought it was saying something about them in the U.S. Like Venezuela came at the U.S. about something horrible. But here, I'm just going to play this. Venezuela's official seek to block U.S. supported opposition leader Juan Guaido from leaving country. Freezes assets.
High in Venezuela, opposition leader and self-proclaimed president Juan Guaido on Monday called for more demonstrations, urging his supporters to take to the streets on Wednesday, trying to build on momentum from last week's mass protests. He's pushing for an amnesty plan that would give some legal protection to members of the military in hopes they will turn against President Nicolas Maduro, who on Sunday oversaw a display of his army's latest Russian hardware. Flanked by the defense minister, Maduro said this showed the world he had the nation's military firmly behind his rule. Also on Sunday, the socialist leader rejected a European ultimatum to soon call elections. Maduro has ruled over Venezuela since 2013, presiding over the nation's descent into turmoil with food shortages, deadly street protests, the exodus of millions, and inflation forecast to hit 10 million% this year. But Maduro claims his government is a victim of an economic war led by his political adversaries with the help of Washington, which, along with many other foreign governments, described Maduro's victory in elections last year as a sham. But Maduro says the United States is now promoting a coup against him. With the support of Russia and China, Maduro's government has yet to be disavowed by the United Nations. A chorus of countries have recently recognized Guaido as Venezuela's rightful leader, as Guaido fights for military support. De alguna manera.
Let's go over a little bit of news in this other app, guys. I just want to show you guys some stuff. I just want to show this. One of America's richest families is accused of profiting from the nation's opioid crisis. And I just read this first couple of paragraphs. A court ruling Monday in Massachusetts will expose details about one of America's richest families in connection to the nation's opioid crisis. The Sacklers and members of their company, Purdue Pharma, have been named in a lawsuit that accuses them of profiting from the opioid crisis by aggressively marketing OxyContin, claims denied by attorneys for the family and Purdue. And of course, everyone knows that leads to heroin addicts, that leads to many deaths. That is part of their agenda to depopulate the planet. And especially with all the cures they have that they won't come out with, like cures for cancer, cures to fix our eyes. The pharmaceutical companies are multi-trillion dollars. It's a $1 trillion industry. And stuff like this needs to be known because the regular person doesn't really know about it. But hopefully that family gets what they deserve. And then here, I don't know if you guys heard about it. I was going to put it up yesterday, but this is actually something new. But, alright, well wait. Las Vegas shooter, still a mystery as FBI closes investigation. They closed the investigation. And, police say they may never know the Las Vegas shooter's motive. Maybe because he didn't have a motive. Maybe because that was all fake. But when there's people that were there at the concert that said they got shot with pellets, like, but the lady that said that came up missing 3 days later and supposedly died of natural causes at 28 years old. So I'll just be careful with talking about this one. 28 years old, died from natural causes. Also, though, I don't know if you guys heard about that. Talk to Sovereign Humanoid 33. He knows more about it, but that is also a scare tactic. Nothing may have happened to that lady, okay? She might have been a government official herself. Come out, say the shooting was fake. She got shot with a pellet, not a bullet. Next you know, she dies at 28 years old from natural causes. All true facts. You can look it up. You can look up the reports. Go look into the Las Vegas conspiracies. But that's also a scare tactic the government uses. So other people, they're basically telling other people, keep your mouth shut or you'll come up missing. That lady, God forbid, I hope nothing did happen to that 28-year-old girl. But if something did, either way, it's a scare tactic. They're telling you, you run your mouth, you're going to come up missing. Now, me personally, I don't live in fear. I'll say it how it is. The government been hating me my whole life. They hate my family. They hate me my whole life. So I come in just taking them on. I know eventually, especially if my channel blows up and keeps blowing and blowing, I know I'm putting my life in jeopardy. I know I'm putting my freedom in jeopardy. I know I might even be able to get framed. Or if they want to get me out the way, I'm sure they would. But my thing is, I care, but I'm not scared. I care. I want to live a good life. I've been through enough hell and misery in my life. I want to live a good life, and I'm trying to do that. But people need to know the truth, alright? Because eventually it's going to affect our kids, and our kids, like I keep saying. This stuff, they're trying to put out a new world order. They want a one world currency, and it's going to happen one day. Just not, if it happens in our lifetimes, and you're around my age, I'm 30. If it happens in our lifetime, it's not going. We're going to be old people by the time it happens. But it's going to happen, and I could be wrong about that. It might happen sooner, but it's just funny, Oh yeah, and I don't know if you've seen yesterday. Mysterious anonymous donation of $62,500 was donated to get rid of all the guns that Stephen Paddock, was that his name, Stephen Paddock, the shooter in Las Vegas? All his guns, there was a mysterious donation for all his guns to be destroyed. And then a couple more topics, that's the ones I read. I'm not reading the stories. Roger Stone pled not guilty, sure we knew that. But check this one out here. U.S. intel agencies are saying that they have intel that Russia and China are plotting to interfere with the 2020 election. Could be a distraction. Who knows? And I got a couple. Oh, right there. Now, you guys know I said this a month ago. Told you. PG&E files for bankruptcy. Real quick, everybody in the Midwest, be careful. We're about to get hit with bad temperatures here, -5. But in the Midwest, we're talking about -50 degrees. The coldest it might ever have been over here. Be careful. Stay in house. If you got kids, keep them in your house. Be careful out there. Those type of temperatures are definitely life-threatening. And if you're a new subscriber, go back to the Popeye Operation Popeye, and I prove to you that the government controls the weather. I have proof, a declassified file I show. It's called Operation Popeye, where the government controls the use of the weather as a weapon. Okay, so best believe that they are making those temperatures cold like that in the Midwest, and they're doing it in Pittsburgh too. But nothing better could have happened for the people in California when these creeps here filed for bankruptcy. Pacific Gas and Electric has filed for bankruptcy protection after coming under pressure from billions of dollars in claims tied to deadly wildfires. So the truth will always come to the surface. These people started the wild. They are the reason. I don't know how I could say this and stay on YouTube guidelines. If they weren't PG&E, wasn't the electric company in California, those fires in Paradise would have never happened. Put it like that. They had old equipment. They're a billion-dollar industry using old equipment. You see stuff come from the sky. There's cars looking like molten metal, melted. Cars that are melted with holes above the engine. But all the trees didn't get touched. They call it a wildfire, but not green. No, one green was burnt in the trees. The trees were fine. You guys seen the pictures I put up. Everything. It was just obvious that it was an attack. It was an attack. I don't even know if I should read this, guys, because I already told you they was going to file for bankruptcy a month ago, and here they did. They did it today. PG&E said it was committed to maintain services for customers during the bankruptcy process. And you guys remember, I went back in their stuff probably about 40, 50 years back. Their controversies of their smart meters doing stuff nowadays. And then back then they had like wire lines that like blew up and started fires or whatever. What's that say? Something went wrong during native playback. I don't know if that has something to do with that, but anyways, I think that's just a couple things I want to show you guys. And I know CNN is fake news, and I'm not saying it's not, but I'm saying this place really filed for bankruptcy, and CNN showed it. So there is truth in every lie. You just have to understand that. You have to study these things. Don't just throw CNN and ABC and Fox. They're all push the narrative. It's all owned by the Rothschilds. They own every media there is. So of course they're gonna say what the Rothschilds want to say. You have to study that stuff. That's how you learn. That's how you start learning their patterns and techniques and what they do and how they spin it. And that's when you start looking the other way for the real news that they don't want us to know. It's all a distraction, okay? But there's still truth in every lie. And some stuff, I believe, whether you believe it or not, I hope it's cool. I want us to come together, man. Because I think that's the only way we're going to win this in the long run is by coming together. And we got to fight the New World Order. They have an agenda, and they want to depopulate our planet. And the only way we can win is by sticking together. So, whether you like when I do this or not, just understand, man. I listen to everyone's opinion. I'm open-minded. Stay open-minded in mind. I'm not going to mislead you. Alright, anything I say, I fully believe. I will never come out and say something that's a lie. It will never happen. If I accidentally said something that was not true, I didn't mean to. At the time I'm saying it is what I believe. And most things you're going to see, I'll always stand by. I don't care what anyone has to say about it, unless they show actual proof that I was wrong. But I'll wrap this one up. We got more videos coming today. I'm gonna cut the when I went on Unirock last night. I'm gonna put that segment on my channel. I'm gonna wait till he uploads his stuff with more Fugal so I can put it all together. And I got more stuff on that little dirt bag. Guys, you already seen. He had me feeling bad about the kid, but I don't think it's true now. I have reason to believe that those all he made it up because he's King Baby. He's trying to make people feel bad for him. He come on my channel and try to make me look like a liar. And it don't matter because my people know I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I mean, I don't wish no harm to the dude, but in a way, he has to be outed now. After he lied about brought kids involved and lied about it, and I know somebody sent me the news story. Do you understand? I could pull up news stories from Pittsburgh's newspaper or Pittsburgh's thing, internet paper, whatever you call it, and I could pull out so many different things and say that, oh, I'm being threatened and look what happened, here's the news. Nah, man, and trust me, it's not. I'm leaving this for that video. This ain't worth talking about. It's about this. Look, everyone, this is Get Truth or Die Line with IggyMB5679. Stay focused on being positive. Think positive and focus on coming together. Alright? Whether you got differences or not with people, even myself, we need to start putting these differences and talk about them to meet on the common ground. Alright? Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you for my mods. Oops. I appreciate all my mods helping me out the last couple of nights. Much love to you guys. I love you. Peace and love, baby. It's IggyMB5679. Get Truth to Die Line. I'm out of here. See you later on.